Okay, I think we're up.
Are we up?
Yeah, they pop up with community guidelines apparently when you stream on YouTube.
Unlucky.
Welcome.
Welcome, everybody.
Welcome to episode 0 of Illegal Honesty. Can I get a salute to that?
Salute. Got his ass.
I almost drank too. I was like,
all right.
Today, guest host, well, not guest host, well, I guess guest host and guest feature, Mr. G.M.S. Twisted X Vapor, among many other names.
Hello.
Welcome, good sir. I know we've been sitting here talking for the past, it's 4 a.m. in the morning, about 3 hours, and not once have I said, how are you doing today? How was your day?
I'm doing pretty good, you know. My day, it's a little here and there, ups and downs, but for the most part, it's just vibes, you know, chilling, just doing my thing.
That's facts. And to a lot of viewers, we might look a little flamboyant, but it's for the fact of we're running out for minimum sleep. We're a little
bit of flamboyancy
and a little intoxicated, to say the least. Got some nice seltzer, as you can saw, to start off the stream off nice and well. We've been talking for a while, just trying to get everything set up. This is such a hassle to do.
It really is. It truly is
such a hassle. I have a newfound respect for people that podcast. This is not something that.
But again, this is day 0 of our podcasting adventures. So, you know, as we go down the line, we'll definitely figure things out more and more. We'll get a better layout, more professional type of setup going.
That's facts. And I'm happy you did clean off your desk, because there was a couple of pizzas and when these guys I don't even know when you did that, dude, because I was sitting there doing all this stuff and I looked over, I'm like, oh, no anything.
Yeah, I fucking feel like I asked you. I feel like I said something.
I was like, where's my shit? I did say something earlier, but you didn't move anything at the time.
Yeah.
But I'm really hoping that everything works out. Everything's good for the stream. Everything's nice, and you know what I mean.
Turn that down. Yeah.
If you guys are tuning in live, the thumbnail, everything else will come later. If you guys want to support us, the Discord, YouTube, it's all on my Twitch, all on my friend GMS's Twitch as well, at Twisted X Vapor. That is another name you go by. Where, why, when, where did that come from?
Okay, so Twisted X Vapor originated way back, like I'd say like anywhere between 2008 to 2012. I can't remember the exact time, but back then when Modern Warfare 2 was a thing and we were just grinding that game hardcore, me and some friends, you know, Richie made the Twisted Clan. And then with the Twisted Clan came me, because I was friends with Richie at the time. So we had a thing where it was Twisted X, and then the next name, like the thing after the X, had to be like a 5-letter word. So you had Twisted X Raven, Twisted X something else, I can't remember. And then I was stuck between like Twisted X Water and then like Twisted X Fire, but Fire wasn't 5 letters. So then I mixed them both together. Fire and water create vapor. So Twisted X Vapor.
And so at this time, right, like, was this just before or like way before, like, you know, like I've been friends with you, of people that just tuning in. This is a homie, this is a person I've known for the past, this is 2021.
We've known each other at least since like, how long has it been? Because it's been before freshman. It's been like, it was like middle school year, like 6th grade.
These guys didn't take long to introduce themselves. As ladies and gentlemen, as you guys can hear, I have sugar gliders.
I heard him barking. I was gonna say something. But...
They just wanted to say, hey, how's it going? I have a couple of
them. A couple's an understatement.
I did have 14.
How many do you have now?
I want to say 10 to 6. I want to say around like 8. Like that's around the number. I feel like that's in there because
so you lost about half of them.
Yeah. We just too much to handle. Too many to handle. Too many to much money. Too much attention. We have 2 cats already. I'm just waiting for them to start meowing. This is about the time. They're nocturnal creatures. They're cool. I mean, if you have like 2 is probably the number you need to have if you're gonna get sugar gliders. Get 2. As you guys can hear, whoever doesn't know what sugar gliders are or know what they are, but never heard them, it's not like little barking dogs, and it just
They're basically like a squirrel that could fit in your hand.
yeah.
And
If
they
you like,
fly.
if you live in a room upstairs, basement, like that downstairs, whatever it is, and you can just leave them in the living room, leave them or like have an own like whole room for them to jump around in, do it. That's like that's what you should have. But like if you like me and you have your setup in the living room, which a lot of you guys might be like, what? Yeah, it's in the living room. I'm in the living room. Yeah, getting back to the point. Hoping this isn't too god awful. I don't know how this is popping up on my stream.
Yeah, for me personally, I just tune that out because
My thing, because I'm pretty sure on my stream I have it set up to where it doesn't get picked up, but I'm gonna have to look back and see what it sounds like because it might only pick up on stream when I'm talking.
That would be kind of annoying, but
I mean, max goes on. If anybody does get a sugar glider, max goes on for about 20 minutes, and their diet is pretty Is it not? I mean, is it longer? I mean, in my opinion, it feels like 20 minutes.
Well, no, 20 minutes to me, it just seems like still a long time.
It does feel long, dude, because it's just constant.
It's 20 minutes
just
of this.
Constant. It's constant. Getting back to your point, at that time when you came out with the name Twisted X Vapor, was this like how many years before before you got into like vaping itself? Because I know that was something.
Vaping itself. This was probably like
blew up in our area because I'm running Twitch too.
Some technical difficulties with that fixed.
Sorry, but yeah, because I know in our area around like 2014, no,
it's hard
16,
to tell
16, about 2016, 17 is when vaping started blowing up in our area. when this how many? So this you said 2000 between
like 2012.
So this was like a good 4 years. Like so you're like elementary school?
No, middle school. Like we
6th grade. Because like it sounds like
this was elementary school.
It sounds like a 5th grade. Yeah, it sounds like a 5th grade move. I'm pretty sure at that time when I first met you, the Twisted Clan was new.
Yeah,
was new.
No. I remember this now because I remember when I met you, I still had the Twisted X Vapor.
I never met you.
No. At the time, you remember the whole thing with me, you, and Kevin?
Not Kevin. It was way before that. No. Didn't I get introduced to you by Gabe?
I thought it was Kevin.
Nah, I'm almost positive it was Gabe.
Swear it was Kevin. I feel like you introduced me to Gabe. I don't feel like I talked to
no,
Gabe.
because then you and Gabe not on the same football team at all? Anywhere? Nowhere you guys were on the same football? I thought that's where...
Maybe on the Packers.
That's where I thought you guys knew each other, and that's where I got introduced. It could have been Kevin. It easily could have been, because Kevin was my... that was my homie up until I met you.
I'm guaranteed.
You legit replaced Kevin in that group, that friend group. That chapter of my life was that. Up until then, and then this has been this chapter, and then who knows where it goes after. Hopefully I don't lose any friends in the next chapter. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to progress. Yeah. Progression is my next viewpoint. Getting out there. So now I got that out of the way. What's your name? Introduction. G.M.S. Where did that come from? So that's what you're called now.
Yeah, this came way later. So you remember back when we were like getting into music.
Say way. I mean, yeah, it's way later. So for the name, so Max, you said 2012, right?
2012 for Twisted. Let me actually look back and try to think. Right.
Is there anything you could find? I know you're not going to show it, but if anybody out there is seeing this 20 years in the future and we're blowing up, sorry for the loud there, but if anybody's out there 20 years in the future and we're blowing up, there is videos out there of this man of a channel making ninja stars.
Shut up. You don't know the name of that channel? I'm never going to reveal that channel to anybody ever.
If anybody ever finds this video, finds this channel,
nobody, dude.
I will personally send you $100. It's a free $100 for anybody that sees this. It's yours.
2014. This account was made in 2014, but I feel like
Twisted X Vapor?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I feel like the name was still like a year or two before this. The name was way before this
yeah, that's gotta be because the whole content making thing was so like crazy to me, in my opinion. When I like it was underrated at the time, but then when we got into it, at least when I got into it, I had a feeling it was underrated, but like I didn't get that feeling until I started getting off of it, which was a downfall. Because I like now you have to have an overlay. You have to have fucking the best, not the best, but like you have to have a
You
decent
have to have
computer. You
quality.
gotta have, you gotta have quality. I mean, everybody has definitely looked at quality over quantity, which is a good thing. But at the time when there wasn't much quantity, it didn't really matter what you had.
But even then, I feel like back then there was still this thing about quality. Like even then, back then, right? The whole like going into
Yeah,
the commentary scene, right? Like people had like their gameplay. They showed the gameplay, but then they had commentary of whatever the fuck they were commentating about. Even then, that was pretty minimalistic, but the quality was still there. You
yeah,
know,
no, that's honest. Like that's why I look at it, because like at the same time, I looked at it as like, like I be trying to stream now. I've been streaming for about, with this account with Dead Edge, with about a year. And honestly, halfway
Mhm.
through that year, I'm pretty sure I did have a name change. But regardless of the fact, I've been streaming kind of constantly for about a year now, and the growth has been 70 followers, which is not bad. I'm not gonna look at it as a downfall. I look at the positives. But the growth of another channel like I did when I first ever did a channel on Twitch, was LT Rav, and that was around the
I
time.
remember that one.
Yeah, LT Rav, and it was around when PS4 first came out, Destiny 1 first came out, and I got I ended up getting, so when you buy like a PS4 brand new and like in the box, it sometimes comes with a game.
Yeah.
So with the PS4, at least the one I got from GameStop, it didn't come with the game itself. It came with a code, and the code was supposed to be like Far Cry, I think.
Yeah.
Like Far Cry 4. I think Far Cry 4 was the game, and I ended up just and I was like, I got home, got everything set up, all excited. I went to go type in the code. It kept saying not working, not working. I was like, oh, what the heck? It's not working. It's my president. It's not working. Da 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 da. And then I called the number, and they're like, did you do this? And did you go to this website to redeem your code to get another code?
The fuck.
And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, I did. And then they're like, oh, that's weird. I mean, it's supposed to work. I'm like, yeah, I tried a couple times, refreshed the website, came back later, tried it again, nothing worked. Like, okay, we'll send you another one over. Send me another code. It worked, and I was like, wait a minute. That's when at that point, that's when I had to realize.
Yeah.
That point is when I had the realization. I was like, wait a minute, the code I have, does it still work? So I went on the website, redeemed it, got another code, got another choice between like 3 games. It was the Far Cry, it was the newest NBA at the time, which was like 2K18 or 17. Um, could I, it was definitely one of those. And then and Destiny, and then I was like, Destiny. I was like, screw it. And then because
I remember I saw you at the Destiny release. Remember?
no, I didn't get the Destiny. It wasn't the Destiny release. It was the only time I ever saw you was the COD.
That was Ghost.
It was Ghost. Ghost was the only time I saw you at a release.
I
That was
remember
why. That was when we first like really started doing shit, like playing together. At least that was one of the first years after.
I'm pretty sure like we both hopped on Ghost when we got
That's
home.
when COD still had a hype, but that's a conversation for another fucking. That's for another time. But to the point to what I was saying, I realized at the time that streaming, well, the PS4 console had a streaming like thing to it, like you could stream on it. So I was like, all right, Destiny is the game that has a story and a multiplayer that I could do, that I can work with. So I loaded up on my phone and on my console to see what Twitch was like at the time for PS console players, and it wasn't saturated. It wasn't like nowhere near like it is now. It was like the basic PS4 overlay like it comes with that you see sometimes. Like if you scroll through and set your settings to lower viewers, you'll definitely see it there. But it wasn't oversaturated, and there was had a lot of viewers at the time, because I feel like a lot of time it was very experimental. People didn't know how it was gonna do or where it was gonna go, so people just checked it out to see what it was like. And so when I got into Destiny, I remember when I loaded up the game, I finally got it installed, I loaded up, I had my stream up, it was just Destiny first impressions. And then I I was sitting there and I was like, you know, kind of how we are. Had an intro because I did YouTube in the past, so I had an intro, and then got to the screen where you make a character and it's like, do you want to be a hunter,
Yeah.
whatever? And I was like, chat, what do you want to do? Having no faith that anybody was gonna answer. Well, then out of nowhere, somebody. I mean, I did sit there for like 5 minutes. I was like there for like 5, 6, 7 minutes. I was like, kind of just like, I don't think anybody's gonna answer, but I mean, let me just wait it out. One more minute, one more minute, one more minute. And then somebody said Hunter, and I was like, Hunter's what I went with. And then, yeah, went on, and then for the first like 20 minutes, didn't have much anything. Got to that first place. It's kind of like, you know, in Destiny 1, at that first map area, there's like a little building, and you go down, you used to be able to farm it really easily for the first mission. Like, you kind of go down. I don't know how to describe it because it's been so long ago, but it was like
what do you mean first mission, like literally
the first mission, the first fucking mission. Like so you know how you start in that like weird area, like you never go to again, kind of area, and
Like,
then you go through like the busted turbine, like I guess plane. There's like a busted plane thing that you go walk through, and it brings you to the actual area where everybody always is at. And
then there's like a scarab.
And then usually where there's like a live event, that pops down, and then you go through there, and then you go to another building that brings you out to like the place where it normally spawns you in when you fly there.
I think so, yeah. Like the
There's
actual
there's like a normal building that like doesn't have much things around. There's a couple people there, and then you can go downstairs, and that's how you get deeper into the place. And that's an entrance to get deeper. But regardless of the fact, I remember I got to that point, and somebody was just like, "Hey, you need any help?" And I'm like, in my chat, and I'm like, "Yeah." I mean, I was like, I really don't know what I'm doing, and this person was like, "Yeah, I'm level 30 something, like you know, whatever." And I'm like, "This game just came out." And then I was like, sure. And then I started,
Like when the game first came out, I remember like they capped out at like 20 or something.
It wasn't day one. It was like week 2. It was like week 2, it was between week 2 and week 4.
That's still ridiculous.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, because I didn't get the PS4 immediately.
I remember getting past 20 in Destiny. It was such a pain in the ass. Like your light level after that was such a bitch.
It was all the grind was real with that game, which was innovative.
The fucking engrams. It was all about engrams.
It was innovative for the time because like engrams was it was a new way of loot dropping. Now it's kind of everywhere. It was everything. But you know, I was like, yeah, sure. And then I was like, started talking to him. I was like, yeah, before I invite you, cool if I could like just like, you know, ask you what your name is and some like small certain stuff just to like before I. No, I don't really know you. And then they're like, yeah. And I was like, how old are you? And then they're like, 35. I'm like, I didn't really act weird on the stream, but I'm in my head. I was like, okay. And they're like, I started talking to them. Oh no, actually, sorry, that's wrong. I was like, how old are you? She said 22. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, the name I couldn't really tell. I can't remember the name at all. And then I just know I couldn't tell if it was a boy or girl. I was like, boy or girl. And then I was like, okay, cool. And then I was like, how long you been playing? Day 1, of course. And then she has a husband. Apparently she was married, had a husband, this and that. And then she just like helped me like power through first couple things. But in that time period, I ended up getting like 50. I was like about in the first month, got about 50 followers. And that just fucking, it really got to me because I was like I would be out with my family doing the normal kid shit. But like on that car ride home, if we had to stop anywhere, 7-Eleven, get gas, go to the grocery store, I'd be like, because like in my head, I'd be like, I gotta get home and stream. I gotta get on. I was like, we gotta do this raid tonight. Like this, like this. I was like at the time, I knew what was like. It's not like set up a schedule. It was like in your mind, like the discipline. You knew, like you felt like you just had to be there for your people that were watching you.
Yeah.
Now that it's been around for what, like 10 plus years almost, that it's, I mean, not 10, I don't think it's 10 yet, but it's going on 10, and it's very oversaturated, and it's very kind of like, it reminds me of celebrities. It's a hit or miss.
Yeah.
Everything's a hit or miss. It's not like you could just do it as like you could easily do it as a free thing, but it's not like you can get the same experience as another person can at you're doing it. It's not like you could go and I don't know, lift weights and be the same as another person lifting weights. It's not the same. It's like you're not gonna get the same interactions.
Yeah, I definitely see that.
It's sad. It's sad because it's like I don't get that. It's hard to get that because that enjoyment when you're in that feeling. Because I've had it twice. One time when I did the Destiny, and second time when I did Minecraft, when I did making maps and for console. Because at the time console didn't have servers. So if you could make, if you had a map and you could get people in, and if you all you had to do is just say, all you had to do was follow me.
True.
There you go. And then I would get an email of who would follow. Now the email system's broken. It's rarely I'll get an email. It's like every couple people I'll get an email saying who followed.
No cap, dude. It'll give you the email like a day after.
It's so broken now, and I just it's so oversaturated. So I get it. It's hard to keep up with everything. I don't know if you're aware. I mean, I know you're the one that brought this to my attention. Brime, Doctor Disrespect.
That thing, yeah, I think that was a fake.
Have you? No, it's not. I mean, as of right now, it's not. So ever since you told me about that, I looked into it, and then I found that they had a Discord server to. On my stream, I pulled up the stream on my. I pulled up the Discord on my stream. Alright, bring that back here. I meant to pull it up on my internet. If so, I can bring it to prime.com for you. Of course it's not. Alright. Well, since they don't have a technically official website just yet, they have a Discord server, and I wish I could pull it up, but I'm using Discord for this, so. They have a Discord server, and ever since you told me that, I joined the Discord server for, like, news updates and whenever it was going to launch, because I thought it was, like, going to come out soon with the whole thing about Doc switching over to it.
Yeah.
So I thought it was going to come out real soon, but nah, it's been in, like, when Docs was talking about, when everybody was talking about the whole switch thing to Brime, the thing's been in, like, that was, like, pre-alpha.
Damn.
They're just now getting to beta. Or actually, I don't know if this is beta or if this is alpha. I think this is alpha. I think they're getting the alpha launch, and they occasionally, like, they've had twice where they've had a name, a username securance. Is that alright? Is that a real word? But like where you secure your name, like your username for whatever you're gonna be called on your tweet, like thing. I didn't get around. Like, I saw it, and whenever I saw it, I clicked on it, and it said apparently it was already expired. So I'm guessing it only went on for like a day. Sucks.
Yeah.
Definitely sucks. I don't know. I'm definitely probably gonna try it out. Streamlabs has a multi-stream thing which costs like $15 a month to be able to use.
Yeah.
I might give it a go for like a month, and whenever it does come out, and try it out, because I like new things. I love new things.
It could definitely be something good, especially if you do it early enough and you can build a following. It can
and just not give up. Yeah, I gave up too soon. I think I gave up both times, just because like one time it was like, oh, I'm gonna do this school thing wise or like education wise, and then did it or not did it, and then go back to it, or did it and then never went back.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's just not the same when you go back.
Yeah.
The last time I did it and came back, Twitch was really not the same. Because I did it the second time with the Minecraft maps, it was still basically the same. I could still have the basic PS4 overlay thing and still get a decent amount of following.
Yeah.
That came from the Minecraft community itself, from like a wiki. I would go on the wiki page, type in like, hey, I post a thread saying PS4 custom map made, type in the requirements, and people would come.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and on top of like having because like when you have viewers, more people watch you, click on you, so you get both.
Yeah.
Getting those average viewers, if you're not a female on Twitch nowadays, not a question.
They just click on your fucking VOD and they're like, oh, male? Yeah, sorry, bud.
Not a question.
To do.
So, they try to grab my phone and 3 screwdrivers fall.
I'm lucky.
Bringing up something I wanted to talk about. Okay, so for sports, for a lot of kids last generation, old, like parents last generation, their sports was most likely a 50. Okay, so it's not 50-50, it's between 3 things. But you know what I mean. It's a toss-up between 3 things. It's between NBA, like basketball, football, or wrestling. In my opinion. The generation before us. Because a lot of older folks, they know who wrestlers are. They know what wrestling is.
Oh, like that type of wrestling. I
That
thought
type
you
of
meant
wrestling.
wrestling.
No, that type of wrestling. And then I feel like our generation was brought up on football, basketball, and UFC, like boxing and
Yeah, I can
that.
definitely see that.
Like professional wrestling just got kicked to the curb.
Like I know way more. Like I don't
Yeah,
even know too
yeah.
many UFC fighters, but I know a lot more
You
UFC
go up
fighters.
to a kid and be like like my age, and go John Cena, like, yeah, corny little cereal box guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go up to like somebody like Conor McGregor, like, yo, that guy's gonna fucking kill you, bro. That guy's gonna fucking kill
You
you.
bring up like a fucking Nate Diaz, and they're like, "Oh,
But
dude,
that's
that nigga, he goes hard."
yo, that's crazy because that's how like some people, and that's how a majority, I won't say majority, probably there's still a portion of Japanese audience that watch professional wrestling that still view it that way. That's how professional wrestlers are to them.
Damn.
Like they'll literally show up to shows to do shit to people, like to try to kill them. Like they just take it so real over there.
Oh, in Japan,
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
The Japanese, like they'll show up to the fucking
I don't know
events, like,
when you were here. Didn't I show you when you came over not that long ago? Didn't I show you a video of like top 10 like serious like crazy like people trying to kill somebody in the ring kind of moments type shit?
I haven't seen that.
Oh, I thought I showed you that video, but I don't know. There was a video that like back in the day, Japan. That if you wanted to see some crazy shit happening in a fake business, that's where you went. Because that was before the internet, so fans had no idea that it was fake.
Damn.
No idea, and no wrestlers was gonna say it. No wrestlers was gonna say it. So there was literally times where audience tried to like kill the wrestlers because they thought they were that bad, like they were that bad guy in real life.
Damn.
Like, so if they beat up a good guy, dude, they're gonna have to like fight their way out of the building to get home, like get to their car to get home.
Damn, and they still went to Japan
Yeah,
and did shit.
yeah.
They're
Because
just
it's
like, fuck
like,
it.
dude, they love the business, love either that or they just like, I mean, under certain circumstances, you gotta understand, it's either comes to the business, it's a mix of the business and the money.
Yeah, but that's still crazy.
Because like starting over there and getting overseas is very difficult. Starting here and getting overseas is so much easier.
True.
So much easier. So many people have found a success because they just have this awe to us. In a professional standpoint, when they see somebody when they see like an American go over there, that and on a professional standpoint, they see that as amazing
Mm-hmm.
because they broke into their scene.
Yeah,
That's just wild. I would love to do that.
that'd be pretty chill.
It would be crazy. Doing anything in front of doing anything in front of an audience would be crazy. Like doing you did guitar, right? Did you go into any of the things?
I went to I actually guitar. I don't remember. Violin. I remember I went to one
You did violin when?
middle school.
Oh fuck! They had violin in middle.
Yeah, dude, middle school was lit because middle school had fucking everything, dude. They had just cello, violin,
They
fucking
did?
piccolos. Yeah, you didn't do that whole thing where you had to go like.
I mean, I've only
in
did
middle
choir.
school, it was like a music night type thing. Okay, that's why.
In my
'Cause
head, since elementary school, it's been choir, sing.
no, so in middle school they give you an option, right? In middle school is either you do choir or you do an instrument. You had to do one or the other, right?
Yeah.
So I decided to do an instrument. And then if you choose instrument, you have to go to the school, and then the 8th graders are there with their instruments, and they show off their instruments and what they do and all that bullshit. And then they try to like persuade you to like choose that instrument, you know? So I went in and I just went through everything. And honestly, like if me being like a middle school kid, I didn't know how to play a fucking piccolo or a flute, none of that. It was hard. Wind instruments are a little difficult to learn, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. The cello, all the big ones, I was like, I don't want to be none of that. And then the violin, I was just like, yeah, it's pretty chill.
It is pretty chill. I
And
mean,
I never learned it. I'm kind of
I'm disappointed I didn't pick up any instruments.
yeah, I'm very disappointed I didn't actually try to learn it and actually like take that shit
Anything,
serious.
any instrument, in my opinion, would have been helpful. Because like
I love the violin now.
music,
How the
dude.
violin sounds.
I mean, at the time, I understand where I was because like I mean, I'm never one like regret my past. I don't, because it's like at the time and the way I was brought up was always about like the singer, the voice that you heard, the words that you heard. It was never for me. It wasn't about the beats up until recently, like the past 4 years. It wasn't up until where I really felt beats, like what beats can do.
I definitely feel that. Even like back then though, I feel like it was both for me. Like both were still heavily like balanced together. Like the voice, it was always like the voice was important, but I feel like the instruments and whatever was being played, the chord progression and all that shit, that still held a significant
Oh
value.
yeah, yeah, that's facts. it was just weird because like there's times where like I don't know if you ever try to do it, but like think back to times where you've had that awe moment where you think about like that's where I've learned this, that's where I learned this crazy shit, like time when I hopped on Twitch and I like did all this and I when I stopped I had that feeling, or like even in that time of like how that feel like this kind of feels like a job, but it's not a job, but it could be a job. You know what I mean? And it's like that kind of for me. I mean, not the same thing, but like it's just that the ah moment, that learning experience of like, this is something, and that plays into that. Keep having blank moments in my head. Unlucky. We fuck. Where were we at? I'm sorry.
The aha moments.
Oh yeah, the aha moments. And I would think back to times where I was, I was like, this is where I thought of this. This is where I like started thinking about this. Like, fuck, there was something that I was tying into that before. I hate myself for this. I always blank out, and I hate it.
Unlucky, man. It really is.
THC for you, ladies and gentlemen. Lovely substance. For me. Viewer discretion is advised.
May induce short-term memory loss.
It is a side effect. It is listed among the CDC. That's crazy, dude.
Risk.
I mean, speaking of which, I'm...
Oh, he's fucking shit up. He's breaking shit. What'd you break? Oh my goodness! No way.
It happens. It happens.
It does happen. I like where mine's set up. You know how mine is like the pull-out drawer?
Yeah, I can't wait. I just got this desk made, and I can't wait until I get some more customization.
Yeah.
There's a Okay, hold on. I'm gonna at least finish the topic about marijuana, weed that we're on before we get into other things. But there's a lot of things that we talked about beforehand before we started streaming that I told you to hold your thought on. I'm hoping you remember.
Okay.
But to finish the topic on weed, it's just crazy.
What exactly?
It's everything, the whole culture about it in the past.
Dude, in our lifetime, really. In our lifetime.
Well, yeah. I mean, it didn't. I wouldn't say it sparked. The past decade has been crazy.
Well, it's like this, right? Because I feel like
up until like dude, up until okay, so before to me is like 2008. Growing up.
I'm saying in the past, dude, like in the 70s, right? In the 60s and 70s, wasn't that like actually kind of like it was okay? Like smoking pot in the 70s was at least kind of like
okay. So that was okay. So it depends where in the 70s. Because I know early 70s, yes, and then like mid 70s, no, because that's when they just passed a law, and then they had a big like thing for it. Because I remember in history class, we were going through a documentary of like that time period. It was something, and in that video, there's a shot of somebody holding up a sign that says, "We want." It was like take tabs, not drug, or something like that. It was like do something, not something. I was like, those are the hippies right there. Those are the those are the OGs. Those are the OGs. Those are the ones doing crazy testing out stuff before like we get our hands on it and do too much shit and overdose.
No, but it's like this, right? Way back before we were even alive, right? It was kind of like people were doing it and it was accepted and all this type of shit, right? And then they passed this whole war on drugs.
Yeah.
All this type of shit happens. And then we were born. And then we're born into this whole fucking, this whole society of
that's already been
drugs
used
are
to
bad.
It. Yeah, it's already been used to that. It's already had a couple years of the DARE program.
Yeah, so we kind of grew up into that. But it's crazy to think that even before us and before that all happened, it was still legal. It was still kind of.
I feel like DARE program was at its prime when our parents were in school. You remember the DARE program? I forgot what the acronym was. I'm gonna look it up real quick.
Yeah, what the fuck did it stand for? I'm trying to think.
Drug abuse resistance education.
Yeah, I was thinking it was drug abuse something.
So I feel like that was. I mean, it was founded in 1983 in Los Angeles. And so I feel like our parents' time. I feel like that was when it was prime. That's when it like. So it dropped in like when they were born. So it got big by the time they were in like high school, middle school. And then by the time we got there, we thought it was a big deal because that's what they went through. They brought us up. They brought us up like the way they thought it was, but better.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went through Dare, thought saw the pictures of the lungs after whatever years of doing whatever drug, and then you're like, oh, I'm never gonna touch that ever in my
You see
life.
the teeth, you see all that type of bullshit.
And then you start getting close to like almost around high school time, and then you just aren't like seeing a lot of like false hysteria to some of the stuff, like just so like when they say a lot of times, like one time they like to advertise a lot in their programs or educational segments is like, or lessons, that's the word, lessons is one time is all it takes.
Yeah,
And
I've heard some shit like that.
that's true to an extent, in my opinion. Like you gotta just, when you gotta educate right on the substance. Like at the time we were being brought up, yes, there wasn't where it is now, but I feel like it was just because a lot of people didn't want to admit it, and that was the issue. And that's where our kids are gonna be brought up, where we're at the point where we kind of have to admit it and just accept it.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be crazy because like no matter where you go, it's gonna be dispensary there, dispensary there, dispensary there, and our kids are gonna have such easy access to it that we're gonna have to look at it like alcohol.
Yeah.
We're gonna be like, oh, I come from a long line of stoners. Like it's gonna be. I mean, it's gonna be looked at as a different stereotype. When people say I've come from a long line of alcoholics, you're like, oh, fucking DUI, just crazy shit. I come from a long line of stars, like, oh, okay, this guy's lazy as shit and loves donuts. That's why this is watch anime. Like, this is my guy right here.
True.
Like, that's gonna be crazy. Our kid's gonna be crazy. Like in its own way. Like it's gonna have some of the same issues. Like I feel like the early age is gonna be the only time where it's gonna feel the same to us. Like whenever our generation does have kids, like say we're like 20s, or even some of us are in our 30s. Even if we do have kids in our 30s, if we have it around that age, it's the only time it's gonna feel like now or even before is when they're young. It's the only time we can express it to them and show it how it was to us. After that, they're pretty much take the wheel and kind of show us how it's done.
Yeah, basically.
Because it's just I'm just hoping I can be open minded at that point to understand their times. Because if only people could understood sooner ours, if only, because like it could have helped a lot more people.
Yeah, no, for sure. But again, like the way things progress and the way things keep progressing, dude, it's so hard to keep up.
You don't know where it could go left, it could go right, it could go.
Dude, you have people making videos of themselves in fucking cat suits, like wearing skirts. Like I don't even know, man. They could go anywhere. Like the future could be like my son claiming that he's a fucking billy goat. You know, like that's the new social acceptability. Like you just say you are whatever you are. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't know what website or like what thing it is, but I know I saw something where the gender, like you could literally identify as a helicopter. And just kind of just at that moment I'm like, wow, this is where we're going. This is where like 20 years, like this was definitely in 2020, because like we're just in it's January 9th, Saturday, 4:47 a.m. Looking at that like sitting back, I remember in 2008 as a kid, like never knowing what day it was. Like you only need to know when somebody asked you as a kid, like when do you have to do this? Mommy, what day is it? Like you just didn't know what day it was, and you really didn't care because it's like whatever day it was something new. Yeah, that's my like goal, is to be back in that mindset of something new is gonna happen. And I know that takes a lot because now we struggle with so many different things. Like a lot of things don't develop at that young of age, like depression, all that stuff just doesn't develop until later on. At least the first like not until like between 6, because I feel like it could develop early, between like 6 and like up. So like those young ages.
A whole other thing I feel about that also adds on to it is the whole thing about intelligence, right? The older you get, the more wiser you get and the smarter you get. I feel like with intelligence does come a little bit of, I guess you could say, like
Yeah,
Ain't no way.
I just don't understand it because, like, in my opinion, because like the way I was so frustrated with our generation, because like I growing up, I always felt like I wish I was brought up in my parents' generation. Because as a kid, point before I met like had friend groups, before I had friends per se, like I was always trying to hang out with my brothers, but they're older, and hang out with older people when I'm around family crowds. But it's just I always got pushed away because I'm a young kid and it was annoying. Da 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 da. So I always listened to older music that was never hip up until like 2012, 2013 out. No, actually even 20 like 15 out. That's 2016 was on the time I really started getting hip per se to new
Mhm.
music. And before that I was listening to Metallica, just old school Eminem, Lil Wayne, like stuff like that. That was it.
Yeah.
That was
No,
it. Um there is another blank moment. Where's the point? Where's the kicker? Uh okay. Um we're Yeah, we're just growing up in a our kids gonna be growing up in a crazy time. We grew up in a crazy time, and I was just brought up so, in my opinion, old school, and I wish I was brought up in their generation. That was the kicker. Fucking going up. That's where it was. That's where I was going. Whereas going, like, always trying to hang out with other people, getting kicked around because just can't, and then getting to the point where I am older and then wiser, and then thinking about like, oh, if I was just like, like if I was them, I would let this guy hang out. But then getting to that point where like thinking about it, like, yo, let this guy hang out. Like I'm not nothing lower than that. So like my brothers would be like, I would never never let a 12, 13, 14 year old hang out with them. But to me, I'll go a little younger than that. Never let it, like for me, like if I was like up in my 20s, up in my like even now, I would just like if like 13, 12, like our mindsets are gonna be on a different wavelength. The things we have experienced are gonna be way different.
yeah.
I'm not gonna be able to connect to this kid on the same point. Like I'm still a kid. I can admit it. Like I'm still a kid, but like I can't connect with this kid the same way that like I can you, or I can't anybody older, anybody around the same age.
I feel like it really depends, honestly,
Cause that's where
because
I draw.
here's my thing, right? For me, I can kind of connect with a younger type of audience, if anything. It's more like an older audience, but the thing is, I can connect with an older audience. It depends on the audience, right?
On YouTube now. Dropped it down.
It's
Sorry. No, you're fine.
all good. The fuck was I going on with?
Evan, ladies and gentlemen, follow her on Twitch.
The fuck was I going on about?
You
Oh,
understand? Yeah, brothers, older people hanging out with younger crowd.
so like the younger crowd, I can kind of get with. I can at least talk to them about some things, and the older crowd, it depends on the older crowd, right? So like anybody that's like an English speaker, that's a primary like English speaker, I can kind of talk to them about most things. It comes with like my family, like that Hispanic side, older Hispanic people. At least my family, it's so hard to talk to them about shit that's just relevant because they're talking about things from their home,
Yeah,
their home,
yeah,
their home country and shit like that. I can't relate to that. They're talking about El Salvador, Dominican Republic, all this other type of shit. Shit that happened like over there. I have no idea about any of those places. I don't know anything about that. So relating to that, I just can't, right?
yeah. I mean, for me, you're listening to like them talk about the Dominican Republic and where they're from and stuff like that. Is me like just them talking about the old times of here, because like they're not from like my family's not from anywhere else. They just talk about like when they're driving, like it started. I mean, for me, like, the earliest memory I can think of is like driving and just them talk, like listening to the radio, always having the CD, like the same CD of
Yo,
whatever it is. Go ahead.
let me cut you off real quick. One thing. Did your parents ever like way back early memory? Did your parents ever use a map to get places? An actual
Oh
map?
yeah. No, like so I've never seen my mom or my dad use it, but I've seen my grandma use it, and we always had one in the glove box up until like 2010. Around that time is when the transition, between the technology and like it being like for everything.
I remember as a young kid going to work with my dad because you know how my dad does HVAC.
Yeah.
And
So you went to work with them even as a kid. I know you
dude, I
went to
had
work with
to
them.
work with this motherfucker since I was like, dude. Okay, so this was crazy, right? My parents didn't
So for other people that don't know, his dad does HVAC, which
heating, ventilation, air conditioning,
which is your AC unit, stuff like that, your heating, like
heating,
like
fans.
everything in your house, right? That included. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like all like your heating, your AC, and like your water heater. Like shit, like your shit
So
for your water and make your
when
water hot.
when do you know exactly when your dad, like not exactly when, but like a time period when your dad made or started his business company, whatever it is,
This
sole
new one, this was at
proprietorship?
least like 20 in between, somewhere between the beginning of 2019 and
Oh,
up to 2020. It was recent.
so the company that your dad worked with before, I don't want to say what it is, but it, I don't know it, but um,
He's
it
always
just,
worked HVAC.
but it just lets you take you. It
Okay,
just
so yeah, okay, so look, he's worked like multiple jobs, right? So the first company he worked with was a heating, ventilation, air conditioning company called R.A. Dobson. It was an HVAC company called R.A. Dobson, and depending on it, like he would take me and my mom with him to like certain jobs, depending, and because I was a really young kid at the time, and my parents also worked at different places, like they worked at they cleaned like a pub and shit like that. So when I was like a young kid, when I couldn't be left in the house by myself, my parents would just take me with them to go clean the place, and then we'd go back home. If my dad went to work and took my mom had to take me, so I was in the car. But yeah, back to the whole thing. My earliest memory was in my dad's white van. We were going to like the workplace. We were going to wherever he was going, and this man just pulls out a map, right, like a big ass map. He's just going through the map trying to figure out where to go. I just remember that, dude. It was
that's crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, no, I remember like when I even like would open it up. Like if I'm in the car by myself, my parents go inside to get groceries. I would open up the glove box, open it up. That thing is like fold it once, fold it twice, fold it three times, fold it four times, fold it five times, fold it six times. Dude, it's like it's taking up two seats, and you're just sitting there like, where am I?
I ain't no cap, dude. You have no idea how to read that thing.
Where am I? And you're looking at it like you hear your parents talk about streets and stuff, and you're looking at it like, okay, we're like
Take a left at
like
North King
or like
Street, and then take a right.
you can't even find yourself. But you're like, I know this is a street. This is, I mean, like this is the same logo as this. That's the same icon as that. I mean, before you know what icons is, you're just like, this looks like this, or it looks like this, and then you're like, where? And then like you try to find something that just rings a bell, and then and you're like, you're thinking in the right area, and then now we have like a phone. You're like,
Do you literally ask Siri, take me to Pizza Hut? Take a left right here.
where am I at? And it just literally tells you your address, or like, how do I get to here? And that's full on step by step instruction. How many miles to the decimal of like where to turn, where to go, how fast you're supposed to go. It's even detects how if you're speeding or not. It would be like, hey, slow down, fucker.
No cap. It'll tell you if you're texting and driving. It'll fucking get mad at you for texting and driving. Like you're
Pokemon
allowing
Go,
it.
dude. That's one of the first games. I was like, yo, this is actually like not caring, but like really. I just unplugged my mic so I can't hear you. But it's like one of the first games where it's like caring about its community or like understanding that like a game like that can have an effect where it can lead to fatal causes.
Yeah.
Like when you look, if you go past, I think it's like 10 miles per hour, 15 miles, or even like somewhere in between or whatever. It's just like, are you? Am I a passenger? So it
Yeah.
fucked a lot of people biking because a lot of people bike faster than 10 miles per hour. So
Yeah.
when I used to bike to work, yeah, I mean I noticed that time. Yeah, that's just crazy.
It does.
People are dumb for one. I mean, back then, if a game like that came out, one, it wouldn't have as big an effect as it did on the culture. But two, people I feel like that played it would have the common sense not to do a lot of things that the game tells you not to do.
Yeah. Because it's common sense. Like I
Yeah.
don't understand what's going on with people lately.
I mean, because like you have people that like the game literally tells you don't do it and drive, but you're
Mhm.
always gonna have those people that do it and drive. Somebody a
Yeah.
message that pops up, a message that you can literally just type okay, it's not gonna get people to stop doing it.
Yeah.
Taking away a couple things, yeah, that does help. Like not working while you're going so fast, that does help. But like stuff still pops up. If you stop at a stoplight, the game's gonna register that you're slowed down, that it seems like you're not walking. Stuff is gonna pop up. Like
Yeah.
whatever. Like my girl's parents do it, still do it. Like anytime they're out, like if they're driving, they have Pokemon Go up. That's and it's been how many years? 5 years.
That's crazy. That's actually
Their max level or whatever. They have like 6 accounts.
what the fuck?
Yeah, dude, it's crazy, dude. Like going
Dude,
over
that's not
the
even playing it, dude. That's just playing a game just to play it, dude.
visiting them is crazy. Like just a short little off thing. Like when I was with my ex at the time, the girl that was just here is my girl Heaven. But my ex at the time, her mom worked in like business.
Mhm.
Scariest thing in my life to drive with her.
Why?
If you've ever seen a multitasker, this is the person. This is the multitasker upon multitaskers. Got
Dude, I can't even imagine.
earbuds in to listen, or either got earbuds or Bluetooth earbuds in to listen to a call. I have a laptop up to have any emails, have anything they need to send right there and now. Have I'm trying to think what else was it. It was earpiece. It was oh yeah, and then have your phone up on your thing, having messages pop up, like using all of these things.
What?
And there's one more thing. Oh, and then even a tablet. There was a tablet. She had an iPad too. And not not an iPad too, but an iPad as well.
Did she have a whole stream set up in your car?
No, I didn't have the camera on, but it was literally everything else. Oh yeah, it wasn't a tablet. It was a laptop. That's what it was. It was a laptop.
2 laptops?
No. Oh, no. It was just a laptop. It was the laptop, the phone, the earpiece.
Okay.
But then there'd be times where, like what I'm saying is, but how do you use like to any common person? How do you use a laptop and drive? How the fuck do you use a laptop and drive?
Well, they teach you that in fucking police school apparently.
No, but like I mean, usually for them, they're like sitting there. Like the only time they'll use their computer is when they're stopped, like completely.
Yeah. No, I feel
it's
that.
not when you're fucking driving. But like this is the thing. All three at the same time. There's one point where we went somewhere and my ex's mom asked the ex at the time, "Hey, can you drive?" And ex was like, "No, I'm tired." So I was like, "Okay." Fucking had the head thing in, had the phone up, had the literally she put the tablet in her lap and was like sitting there with her knees, driving with her knees.
Oh my goodness.
Sitting there, and I was in there like, oh no. This and like we're on some highway, like some backwoods highway. I'm like, what the? And then I know at one point my ex at the time was just like, it's like, Mom, pull over. And then like, what? You don't want to drive. And then got her to get out, and she ended up driving the rest of the way. Like,
damn.
Well, I'm just saying because like her mom does this on daily. Like she goes to Maryland, D.C., all these things, all of these like meetings or whatever. I don't even know what she did. Like my ex called it at the time demos. I don't know. I know it's not demolition, but it was called demos. I don't know what it was for. But that was crazy driving with her mom. There's only a couple people that scared me like that, and that was my granddad, and at that time when we had that party with one of our old high school buddies, drunk off her rocker, going to go meet up somewhere else, and we're going 100 miles an hour down the road.
That one? You talking about
that one? That's in my top 5 of like moments where I'm like,
because we're like going 70, and you're looking at the speedometer from we're both in the back. We're looking at the speedometer. We're just seeing it going.
Dude, those are like. There's been a couple moments like, okay, so there's that. You got the time when I was like one of the times I was driving with Ross and a deal, and I'm looking at the speedometer, and I can hear the brakes. I know the brakes. I've driven the car, and I can just sit there and I see this man pushing past 60. And,
oh my goodness. Who was driving?
Ross. And I've never pushed a thing past 30, like 35 max.
Damn.
I'm out of my mind, like on this old van that has expired tags, broken brakes, like fuck. I'm kind of like, whoa. and it's scary. And then there's another time when we were out going, I think you were with me, my brother, his friend, and I think maybe one of ours, like Omar or like Ben or like Will or something like that, but we were going to go out to Sterling to get something. Was that you? It was raining, I was driving in the van.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. You know the people. You know the people. But I don't want to like sit there and just drop all the names. We
want that dude to go get the carts from Sterling.
Yeah. So we're going to Sterling, and it was raining, pouring, and my eyesight at that time. This was probably like 2 years ago, and at the time my eyesight was like not.
I remember because I was in the car and it was so scary how bad it was.
Shit. It wasn't shit, but it was like not great. I mean, like, I still definitely needed glasses. I mean, now it's like awful. Like, I definitely cannot drive at night. It's just not.
Oh yeah, without glasses, I feel it.
It is not something I'm allowed to do, and I'm only
It's not
19.
safe. It's
I'm
not safe.
I'm only 19, and yeah, you're right. It's not safe. I could have if somebody gave me keys, I have my license, I have a permit. Nobody's gonna say no. But I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna risk that because after experiences like these, like the time when we were out in advance, going out about 20 minutes out from where we are, and it's pouring down the rain to the point where you can't. The rain.
Let me explain it to him.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, listen, guys. We're in this minivan. We're on the highway. It's about a 4-car highway, right? You know, about four-car highway, and it's pouring down rain. I mean, it is pissing down rain, dude. And
It's raining sideways.
it's raining so bad that you know how like they have the lines to show where the car needs to be, like you need to stay in between the lines. It's raining so bad that you can't even see the fucking lines. The
Nope.
water is just covering up all the lines, so you have to take a guess
Like,
at where exactly you're at.
If you're going out like out of your neighborhood, out of your street, out of your normal like downtown towns, like you're fine. You can see stuff where stuff is because like reflections, objects, stuff like that. But when you're on a highway and there's 4 lanes of, well, technically 8 lanes because you got 2 sides to it, and there's just openness of nothing, and the rain's coming down.
Pouring
There's
down
nothing.
rain.
Like at first, like I said, like coming out of the neighborhood, out of the town, it was fine. But as soon as I got onto a highway, there were moments where I legit thought like, I think, what if this is my last one? I think I'm gonna die here. Like, what if I just kill everybody? Like, this is not my, it's not my intentions. Like, there's nothing I can control about it. And like, I thought about turning the car. I thought about all this. And then there was also moments where the car would hydroplane and literally slide. Like, I felt the car would slide, and like I was sitting there trying to find the right lane, and then like I mean, not at one moment, not one point did I think about feds. Not one point did I think about a cop. I was sitting there just like, yo, I can't see a thing. I'm hoping I'm in a lane. If I'm not, the only reference I had was a car ahead of me, and I don't even think he was in the right lane. I just
I remember for one specific moment exactly that you were kind of in like the middle of 2 lanes, and there was a car on your right that passed by you, and you kind of had to swerve into the left lane because you were like halfway in.
Yeah, so that was already before that, all that hydroplaning and me like thinking I'm gonna die. That was already crazy enough. I don't know. At that time, I feel like anybody when they first start driving, they have those moments of like, it happens. It happens. People are dumb. People not unaware. You have to be really aware nowadays. That's where I'm scared about cars nowadays, dude.
Yeah, no, I definitely am a little worried about driving in this day and age because I feel like for me at least, I feel like I have to do double the work. I have to pay attention to myself and every single fucking person on the road because I have no idea what these fucking lunatics are gonna do.
That's exactly, yeah, and that's how life is turned to be, and it's just unreal. It's unrealistic in my opinion. It's and it's unlogical. Like there's two ways to look at it. You can either, like unrealistic and unlogical are 2 different things. You can you can live a realistic life and live a logical life, and those are 2 different lifestyles.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's crazy. Like trying to always fucking think about everything. Like the reason I'm worried about it is not the whole like I have to fucking pay attention to everything. I mean, yeah, that's my main worry. It's like, 'cause like you already there's a point to it where you have to, like you should. Like yeah, like you're supposed to look ahead of you, supposed to look at your mirrors, supposed to, you know, keep an eye out for your blind spots. But now they're getting to the point where there's cars that like there's no sound, and like if you have your windows up, dude, you're not.
There's some people that drive. There's some people that drive like right fucking behind you, dude. Like they're literally zooming on your dick.
So I'm saying, like people like my ex's mom that like multitask and drive, like they have headphones in when you drive, like that. I'm never doing. Yeah. I can't do that. Like I'll play music from the thing, but at least
one headphone is okay. Both headphones.
Even then is like, because like I can't. I would if somebody's blasting that, I would have an issue with it. But if you're just having it slightly tuned, like I can understand that. Like you just want a little music in your ear, something like that. I can understand. But if you're blasting it like something like you could just put on the radio.
Yeah.
Just put it on the radio, because at least that way you have at least a 3, like your at least your mind is set to a 360, like, you know, your whole surround sound. Yeah, like you're ready for the environment and what's coming to you. You're not just gonna get blindsided by the dude that didn't see a red light and just took you out because you're on automotive in a nice Tesla. Like that's stuff that scares me, dude. Like cars are getting so crazy futuristic.
Yeah, it's true.
I was watching a Joe Rogan podcast and he was talking about like car like people flying like how worried I think it was Wiz Khalifa. I think he asked him how worried he would be about in the future people we would ever like have flying cars.
Hmm.
And I don't think we're definitely not gonna be around. I don't think we're gonna be around in that lifetime. Anywhere to the point to
No.
where it is now. Like we might be around for the first ones.
Yeah, for like the first innovations of it, and they won't even be good innovations. They'll be like a
Yeah.
hybrid. The way I see it is, there'll be
And then
cars with literally wings on
even
them.
our kids won't. Nah, I don't think they're gonna have wings because I think they're gonna try to avoid wings as much as possible. In my opinion, you might see them as like concept cars, but
The
I feel like
first
they're
type
gonna
of car
avoid
I see,
wings as much as possible.
the first type of car I see is gonna be some sort of gliding car. There's no way it's gonna be an actual flying,
Gliding would not
levitating
work.
car.
Gliding it would in any sense of the way of flying cars of because if you want to call it a car and use it to the same functionality, it's not gonna work. Cause like having lanes, having all that, it would have to be some source of fuel. It have to be powered by something to keep it up in approximate levitation or general area where it's at to stay where it's going. Because why I look at it, it would have to be general. It have to be generalized to a point to where how roads are. How it's got routes
Yeah.
and back roads and stuff like that. But the only thing is though, you got like they start talking about like what about all the dead animals, dead birds? Like I mean yeah,
True.
it does take a like a probably a good flock to take out a plane. How many like one or two could probably take out a fucking
And it depends how you make the
car?
car, because if it's got engines
Yeah,
on it and
like
shit, like actual plane, like the engines on the side,
that's
one bird going through there, it's over. One pigeon and it's
dude,
over.
those fucking beaks are lethal, dude.
Yo, one like 3-pound pigeon and it's over.
It's fucking terrifying. I
That's crazy. Thinking get taken
feel
out.
bad for our kids and our kids. Like our grandkids are gonna be fucked.
Yeah, man, my grandkid's gonna be taken out by a single pigeon. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's gonna be wild.
It's crazy to think about.
It is crazy to think about. We're hitting about an hour in. Before we take a little small mission slash break, want to get at it is I just want to leave you a little rundown because this is day 0, so a lot of things are going to come. I'm hoping to have a display. I just want to talk about a few things that I'm going to be hopefully adding to the podcast. One, the name. I personally dig it. We'll see where it goes, see where feedback comes from. And it's definitely going to be changed up with the graphic. I'm hoping to have a new graphic for that by episode 1. Guests are unknown. Suggestions down below. Literally, at least my view for it. I don't want to call it my podcast. It was an idea brought up for everybody, not everybody, but G.M.S. included. We've all had a common idea, wanted to do it. We just want to. What's the word I'm looking for? We want to just test the waters. Test the waters, see what works, get the feedback we need, test things out. I want to make sure I have a graphic for the name. That's things to come are like graphic for the name, title, more outlets, more promotion for us. Have more things on there because we do a lot of different things. We're on a lot of different platforms. GMS recently got onto Twitter. Doesn't know why he's on there. No idea why.
No idea. Yeah, I think that was my tweet. Yeah.
No idea why he's on there, but he's on Twitter. Hit him up.
Let me see. What was it?
He's mainly on Instagram though. Like that's what I'm saying. Like we're all on all these platforms, but right now this is what we have. Discord, YouTube, 2 main platforms where I'm at personally. Discord, you can find us for sure.
Yeah. My not to cut you off, but
Go ahead.
my first tweet goes, I guess I'm on Twitter now. My second tweet goes, what am I even supposed to say on Twitter?
Like what are you? Like there's no guidelines. There's nobody telling you what you're supposed to say. You're just supposed to say it, and some reason it's just supposed to work.
In my head, how I see Twitter is you just say what you think.
Yeah, and that's sort of
right now I'm hungry.
And
Maybe
that's
I just
what
tweet that
pisses me
out.
off. It's like they have they're it's a good thing. It's a double-edged sword because they're a platform where they have the choice of taking away an amendment. Because if you think about it, they recently, like, no, like, I'm not saying I side with them or against them, but Trump, they disabled his Twitter account for 12 like a day or something, whatever it is, because the whole
Uh-huh.
rioting thing, which is
Yeah.
also a whole fuck situation. But that I didn't like think about it. Hey, they just took away his First Amendment.
Yeah. That is true.
I mean, like they could. I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah. That's where
It
the
is their
whole
platform.
that's where the whole license agreements fucks you. That's where
Yeah.
people don't read them, but they have the option,
It's true. What's
and
crazy?
that's why Karens out here get pissed off because they just don't understand. You
Yeah.
can have a camera up when you're flipping out and you can't get away with it anymore.
That's true. I mean, shit's just changed. It's just how it is.
It's wild. It's wild. Um, but I'm gonna head us on over to a interlude, a nice little break, give us a little mind.
Mind blank.
I'm clicking the wrong buttons here. Nice mental refresh. I enjoy you guys sticking around for the first hour. Hopefully, we can kick it in going for a little bit longer. It's been legal honesty. Get you guys back here. You can be listening to Long Nights featuring myself, G.M.S. Yes, we do music. G.M.S. Representation and our homie Abandoned Child. Y'all enjoy.
I want to see this. I want to see this little interlude screen. Oh wait, why is it called episode 1? Long nights, get the Sprite, pack the wood and roll 'em tight. With my crew, we up until we see the light, day and night. Long nights, get the Sprite, pack the wood and roll 'em tight. With my crew, we up until we see the light, day and night. We high, we fly, we in the sky, we find our way. What can I say? We around, you know we don't play. We high, we fly, we in the sky, we find our way. What can I say? When we around, bitch, ass free system play.
Take a look at me, let me tell you how it's gonna be. Ride with me, and we light up every fucking week. Smoking every single tree we see. That's just how it is, that's just what we do. Let's get it, let's go make some moves. If not, fuck you. This Sprite so light, mix a little weed and roll it tight. SB6 every night, fuck with us, we end your life. Rolling with the crew, fuck a booze, squalling up, and we got the moves. Trapping, that's just what we do. And we got the bands, fuck the Zans. Got the Sprite chilling in my hands. Light us up, boy, that's our chance. And my blunts will leave you in a trance. SB6 waves, life's a motherfucking dance, bitch.
Long nights, get the Sprite, pack the wood and roll 'em tight. With my crew, we up until we see the light, day and night. Long nights, get the Sprite, pack the wood and roll 'em tight. With my crew, we up until we see the light, day and night. We high, we fly, we in the sky, we find our way. What can I say? We around, you know we don't play. We high, we fly, we in the sky, we find our way. What can I say? When we around, bitch, ass free system play.
Ride around with our bitches, talking shit, no snitching, no fucks are given. We don't care, we live in. I'm right around with the six bitch. Ride around, I'm right around with the six bitch. Whipping through the night, sipping on my Sprite, passing that shit to my left and my right. Lighting the flame and the fire ignites, soar through the sky like a meteorite. We don't even know where we're gonna go. We just chillin', we just sipping on the go, taking swigs and blowing O's, blowing O's. SB6 is getting it, you know that we stay really lit. Up all night till the sun goes down. Gassed up, we hit the town. Our cycle blunts be killing. Take a sip, I'm twisted. Couple cup, I'm tripping. Cause it's been a
Long nights, get the Sprite, pack the wood and roll 'em tight. With my crew, we up until we see the light, day and night. Long nights, get the Sprite, pack the wood and roll 'em tight. With my crew, we up until we see the light, day and night. We high, we fly, we in the sky, we find our way. What can I say? We around, you know we don't play. We high, we fly, we in the sky, we find our way. What can I say? When we around, bitch, ass free system play.
As soon as I transition back, my mic falls. Music. Hey, Ben. Pause that for now. Mike, am I not falling off my desk? Am I still muted? You're muted. Hello? You're not talking, you're muted. Oh, wait. I have you muted. I'm a cuck. I'm a cuck. So I could have. This could have worked. I'm dumb. It could have worked. All I would have done is mute you. We could have worked it.
I'm lucky, Logan.
I'm so. Welcome back, though. Hope you guys enjoyed that song, Long Nights, featuring myself, G.M.S, Pan and Child, and representation other known as Aries or Ben, aka I can't read.
AKA Dr. Seuss is too hard for me.
Yeah, we're in the building. We're in the building. But yeah, that's a crazy time. I mean, that's the kind of off the topic we were talking about last time. Crazy time living, crazy time we're gonna be bringing up our children. Whenever that comes to be, hopefully.
Yeah.
I mean, not even just like that far into the future. Like thinking about just like crazy time is now. I mean, with the whole that we talked about the weed stance right now. I mean, majority of states are legal already.
Yeah,
We're just waiting
if not
on
decriminalizing.
Yeah, we're just waiting on recreational for majority of them at this point, and can't wait. Can't wait. It's gonna be great. People will finally just stop giving such a fuck. To the extent
Well, I
that
feel like
they need
you'll still have those people that are
Yeah.
judgmental and still against it.
That's why I feel like now our back then I feel like people. I mean, now we're aware of certain things, which things have gotten better, and now it's just new problems. That's how it's always gonna be. There's always gonna be new problems.
That's true.
There's always gonna be new things that those Karens are gonna be like about, and we're all always younger, open-minded folks are gonna be like, "You're fucking retarded."
Yeah.
That's another thing that's crazy. Like I'm surprised if this blows up, I'm probably gonna take this clip down because I said the word retarded. Like
Yeah, I called you retarded earlier too.
it is what it is, and it's just people can't understand that. It's like this conversation is between us. Yes, I am letting you listen, but it's your choice to listen. And this is like, I mean, back to the point. It's a conversation it's an A/B conversation with a variable listening. That variable that's the way I look at it. So it's a math equation, like where it's an A/B conversation, and you're just sitting on the side as like X or Y, and you change depending on how that the audience wants to change on. Like they react the way they want to react. Like it's not my fault that that's not my fault.
That is true.
That you get that way because of that word. Like this is our conversation. We know how we're gonna react. That's why we say it.
That is true.
Like I say that's like, you know, like I'm having a shitty day. I'm like, fuck, man, that's gay. Like I don't mean anything towards homophobic. So I don't mean it. Wait, is that the people that hate him?
Yes, homophobic.
Okay, so I hate him. Okay, so I have nothing towards. Wait, so that's.
Okay,
what's the word? What's the word?
Let me rephrase this for you. Homosexuals.
Yeah, that's the
you
word.
have nothing against.
Yeah, that's the word. That's the word I'm looking for. And honestly, like in my opinion, I wouldn't even be like, I wouldn't lie. Like if I'm like, if me and my girl are out in a time don't work out, and I'm like 40, 50, and I'm living with a buddy, we just need to get married for some money. Fuck it. We're not gonna do nothing, but sign the fucking papers, get some fucking money out of it.
Okay, Logan, we're on video. You're criminalizing yourself right now.
I'm not, because that's the way it is. Because that's the way I like. That's the way. Well, at least that's the way America works. If you're married, you can get more money.
I'm showing this to Tony.
No, that's facts. Yeah, I guarantee he'll agree. Because me and him, I mean, I don't know how he's on this.
You're gonna marry Tony.
No, that's
Tony...
not what I said. What I said was the fact of like, I mean, I know me and him both have said that if me and him both end up breaking up with the girls that we were with now, we're not dating again. We're just done. I'm calling it. Like, unless, you know, like, it's the whole movie type shit falls into your lap, like it's right in front of your face type shit. Like, unless it's that, no, I'm done. I'm not chasing anymore. I'm not looking for, it's just not, it's too much. It's too much. Yeah. But like, if that happens and I'm like done with dating, whatever, and I'm like sitting there doing my life, living my best life, I'm with the homie, and then like some crazy shit happens, or not even crazy shit, but it's just something like, you know, like in business and money wise, and like the way our government works, if you're married, you get more money.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, that's just legal. You're married to your best friend. Fucking do it. You guys can just still act like best friends, but on them documents, you could just write it. I mean, hell, you can even have relationships in that sense. You can still do it. I mean, yeah, it might be weird at your age, but I mean, what isn't weird at your age? At that, like,
Facts.
when you're that old.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way I would look at it. It's too much. Relationships now are way too much. Everything.
That's facts.
People
Yeah,
are,
things are changing.
yeah. People
Things are changing.
people are so fucking that. Get out of my face. People are so worried about like everything. Back then, like you got lucky if you get to talk to that person once a week.
Yeah.
And you would just have to
yeah.
hope to see that person in that same spot, in that same like when they said it. Like if something
Yeah.
came up, they didn't make it. They couldn't tell you something came up. You just went to that
Yeah,
spot, waited around, waited for them, and
Yeah.
then you thought they were some fuck person. You know what I mean?
It'd be like that.
And I don't know. A lot of things I don't get mad at. A lot of people like even Tony. A lot of things he says. He's like, "Yo, I give you a lot of respect for not just flipping out." Cause like a lot of things my girl does. I mean, I'll put it on. It's not like I'm putting on blast. Like it's something we did. We don't really. It's not an issue. I mean, it is an issue, but it's like it's working out. It's working itself out. She got a $7,000 loan out in the middle of the night when I was sleeping. Like just a random. Like we never talked about it once. It was just then and there, just did it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember like for a while I was like I didn't even think twice about it. Like it wasn't up until I started working and having to pay it off. Then I
Yeah.
started thinking about it. And then I mentioned something about it to Tony. He was like, "Yo, I'm surprised you just didn't flip shit when she told you that, like the next day." And I remember feeling weird about it, like when she first told me. And I'm just like, I remember sitting there with just like okay. It's like, what do you say to that?
Dude, on it, like my first thought is, what the fuck do you do with that money? Like, you don't take a $7,000 loan out for no reason.
Nah, I mean, my only thought process, and I've accepted it, and it's as simple as I think about it, is like she just thought like, hey, food, groceries, for like anything that we think could be useful in this time, like from now until whenever. Because at the time I wasn't working, and it's not like she was getting paid that much, or she just stopped getting. I don't know if it was the time she wasn't working. I think it might have been the time we both weren't working, which is why she did it. Also.
Like I can't take either side of the story. I've got to be neutral on this, but like seeing that, like one, I can understand Tony's point of view. Like I would be a little frustrated waking up in the morning figuring out that's a $7,000 loan. You got to pay that shit back, and depending on how that loan is with interest,
Yeah. That was my thing. That's the reason, like, when I got a job, the reason I got a job so fast. And as for the chat to know, I work at 7-Eleven, a convenience store. It's around the world, everywhere. If you don't know it, you live under a rock. Shout out to our friends in the UK. That's crazy. I don't think they have 7-Elevens. Is there 7-Elevens in the UK?
In
Like
UK,
Europe, or like Europe. Is there 7-Elevens in Europe?
7-Elevens in.
Yeah, if there's no 7. No, I'm not gonna say it.
How the fuck you spell Europe? Dude, Europe's such a fuck.
Wait.
EUR.
Yeah. I was like, what, euro? Excuse me.
Wait, what? Are there really none?
Wait, what? Check India. I swear to God. There's none?
There might be. It said I'm. Okay, so there are. It's just less than around here.
Oh, actually, the first 7-Eleven store was actually opened up in Stockholm, Sweden in 1978.
Damn.
And then it's currently owned by a parent company in Japan, so I'm guessing there are some in Japan as well.
I'm assuming they're not like 7-Eleven.
They're just not.
like,
It's not like, I feel like it's not like us where it's on every corner. I feel like U.S. That's where it like blew the fuck up.
But I also feel like they also like culturalized it to their place. Like in Japan, it's not gonna be the way we see it, where it's like a little 7-Eleven. You know, like I don't know. Do you think in Japan they have like the actual logo and everything? It's
Oh,
all
okay. So here's the whole UK thing about it. In the UK, 7-Eleven came to the country in 1985 and operated there until 1997. It had over 50 stores in the UK and is remembered by many UK residents as having been a part of their retail landscape. 1997, 7-Eleven was sold to UK brand Budgeons? Don't know what the fuck that means. Budgeons, and hasn't made a return since. So yeah, so they apparently, I'm guessing some gas station or some company bought them out and was just, and over there and was just like, yeah, that's us. That's their 7-Eleven pretty much. I'm guessing.
true.
I'm
Man.
guessing. Budgeons. I'm just gonna look it up real quick. Yeah,
Europe is
Budgeons.
crazy.
Yeah, it's a store. Okay. Budgeons store, quality Providence. Yeah, it's a it's a grocery.
Damn.
Yep. So yeah, I guess they started over there and then they came over here and we're like, it's pretty much just like a hit star. We just love foreign shit apparently. China and India. Here we go.
Hey, back to the whole original thing about this is that you working at 7-Eleven.
That wasn't the whole thing about it. It was,
Well, the 7K debt.
oh yeah, the 7.
You got the job. Because
Yeah, I
of
got
that.
the job so quick and got that, and then it didn't really hit me until I like Tony said something, and I was like, yeah, I guess I kind of could be, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I always try to think about everything because I always think that people just don't think when they do when they do shit. Like they just act. It's flight or flight. Wait, fight or flight.
Mm-hmm.
And it's never a mix of both, and it really should be in most moral situations. Like you got to think of other people, you got to think of your surrounding, your environment, what happened
Yeah.
before, what a little bit of what could happen, not too much, and then like you just gotta just
You
commit.
got to make the best assessment of it.
Yeah, and also have a balance. Like all that shit sounds stressful as shit, which it is, and I don't have a balance of it. I don't. It's if you have one of it, more power to you. Would love for some advice. Hit my way. Any of my socials. Go ahead. We're all a fucking nutcase in this generation.
It's true.
The depression of a normal. I don't know how many years ago I saw this, but the depression of our generation is about the same as a person in a psych ward back in the day.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, like they would lock us.
Actual, then
If we talked about some of the shit we talked about nowadays, most of us would be locked up in fucking tight jackets and shit like that, in a all white room.
Like absolute torture.
Yeah, that's what it was, and like people just didn't know what the hell shit was. I mean, yeah, back then people smoked weed and didn't give a fuck, but then you also had to look out just because like your skin color was different color. You had a target on your back just for that.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, I'm lucky enough to never have to deal with that. I mean, it sucks. That's the way we are. I wish we all were the same color because we're all the same thing on the inside. And that's the way I see it. I mean,
I just think it's unlucky, man. If
Yeah.
anything, because like really, like his skin color. Like again, I don't want to go too much into this, but
I mean,
it just doesn't mean shit.
yeah,
dude. Like,
I mean,
and I don't.
as
and
a
I don't
kid, I
want
thought it
everybody-
just meant where you came from. Like when I was growing up, nobody ever told me what it meant. I just thought it meant where you came from.
kind of same. Like for me, like I don't want everybody to be the same color. I don't want everybody to be the same pigment. I still want diversity. I want all these different types of pigmentations of skin. Like
Yeah.
diversity in life.
Diver-
But
yeah.
at the same time, like it's just a shame that we can't have diversity in life
Without-
without all this negativity and toxicity with it.
Pretty much negativity is it's the big thing. I mean, that's why a lot of people look towards like spiritual and conspiracy theory type things for like explanations,
Mm-hmm.
because they look at like the yin and the yang. Like there's a good and a bad to everything, and they look at like scientifically that's not always the case, and that's where the whole logically and realistically comes into play. Like realistically, that's where like you can throw in a couple like spiritual things, like What's the word? If you put your tongue on, well, no, that's not a good one. I had one earlier before. Well, I don't know, like some of the own sayings like "cat got your tongue," stuff like that, or like
Yeah.
if you keep making that face, it's gonna get stuck like that. Stuff like that, that's gonna happen. Like that, you can start saying stuff like that, and it's realistic. But then, like like some people can say, like not in all cases,
Yeah.
or shit like that, and that's where the logical thinkers come in, and they're like, yeah, in all cases, or da 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 da. And I feel like you kind of have to be happy. You kind of have to have that realistic lifestyle. If not, you're just gonna always be hit with like a negative roadblock.
True.
That's just that, and that's the way it is. And it's crazy. Listening to podcasts is fucking wild. Just hearing people thinking how they get through their bullshit, and just them just being like, "Yep, that's the way it is. Move on."
Yeah, it is pretty crazy to think about.
Like for us, I mean, like the thing I can remember more clearly, the first thing comes to mind for you complaining about it, like it's just like, fuck, this is some bullshit. Is like the whole just like government just like trying to get your license or trying to get anything. Like there are all these roadblocks in front of you for some bullshit that's like stupid as hell. And I don't know, like you say it as like, yo, why the fuck should I have to do this when it was just this? Or is that it's kind of, I'm trying to broaden this out and make this as big as possible because I don't want to give out as much detail as you don't want to about the situation.
Yeah, like,
but
it's just like, why do I have to do all this work just to prove that I know how to fucking drive a vehicle?
Yeah, it's stupid. Really is.
It really is.
And and like just like you kind of just have to accept that's the way it is, and then move on with it and be happy with the situation. And I know you like. That's the part that gets me. Is like a lot of people say like just move on, be happy. It's like you can't really be happy part. You can move on. Just be happy part's kind of the hard part.
I don't know. I feel like I could be the other way around morally.
What do you mean? Like the logically thinking?
No. Like that whole like I could be happy, but I couldn't move on.
What do you mean?
Like let's just keep it at this whole like.
You have to like keep it the same way all the time.
No. I'm saying you said the whole opposite thing, right? Where you were like, I don't even know where I'm going with this. I'm fucking gassed.
Yeah, you're good.
I don't know, but like, okay, like say for the whole driving thing, right? Like, like this whole problem, like people tell me like, just like move on, be happy, leave it in the past. Like, I can be happy, but that shit's still gonna stick with me. It's still gonna be in my head. Like, yo, why the fuck? I don't care if, like, for example, that whole process, I have to go through that whole process to get my license, right? Even after I get my license, I'll be happy, but I'm not gonna forget about that fucking process and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
It's still gonna be in my head, like, why did I have to do that?
I'm hip. And in certain situations, you can just like kind of turn it around when there is a positive side to it. A lot of times, like the logical thinkers see the points where there is no other choice, where there's no choice.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it, because it's like like a lot of the people that get mad at like anybody that makes a turn, like Kanye for making that saying, like said that slaves had a choice.
He said that?
So I'm almost positive it was Kanye, but it could have been another person. But I'm almost like 90% positive.
I don't remember hearing anything about that.
It was more recently, but yeah, apparently he said that, and it's like I kind of get where he's like, I kind of get that, and I get why he got so much shit for it. And it's like, yeah, technically, by like you are a person, you have a conscience, you have a choice. Like you can make, you can do whatever. You have that ability to do whatever, but like in your circumstances, if you look at it like, yeah, there's a guy that's gonna whip me, shoot me, or kill me on sight, kind of don't have a choice in that circumstance.
Yeah.
I mean, so like I see both sides, and people.
Yeah. Okay, I can understand that. Like
our next generation's gotta have that.
Yeah.
Gotta have that balance between logical and realistic. Or we're gonna be fucked.
That is true. I definitely see that.
Yeah, because that's why I feel like a lot of people either overcommit or undershoot shit. Like they either don't go hard enough or they overboard it. They don't just let it
That's true.
happen. Because they think, oh, once I got it, I just gotta go until the fucking wheels fall off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in certain aspects, and probably for a certain time period, you can do that. Like when you're fucking in your prime, but that way fucking you fall off the top. The top won't last so long. That's in any industry ever. That's just because the way age works.
That is true.
Yeah, it's gonna be wild.
It is, and again, you just gotta like find a balance. It's all about finding a balance.
That's definitely hard to do in this time period when you can't really do much,
Yeah,
and in an area when you can't do much. You
that is true.
gotta find stuff to keep your mind busy. In my opinion, not busy, because I hate busy. Busy I associate with like work and school. You gotta find something that's fun.
Something that keeps you interested.
Yeah,
intrigued.
intrigued, because if you don't have a hobby, not even just a hobby, if you don't have something that keeps you intrigued, like if you don't have a show, like if you don't have hobbies at all, if you don't do nothing.
Dude, yeah, like I can't understand. Like I don't.
If you don't do nothing, if you don't smoke, you don't drink, you don't do anything, like you don't knit, you don't draw, like anything.
Like what do you do?
Like you have to have a show. If you don't have a show, you're a psychopath. At that point,
Like, I just can't understand. Like how do there are people that like how do you entertain yourself, right?
yeah. I mean, like even like reading, like I'm talking about legit nothing. If you legit do nothing all day and you just sitting there, what are you thinking about? Like what's? Because I feel like at that point you just be caught up in yourself. There's nothing really good can come from that. In my viewpoints, like meditation is different. Meditation I look at as a hobby. That I include a hobby, but like literally doing nothing. Like you have no drive. There's no point. There's no anything in what you're doing. You're just sitting there existing. What what's so good about that? Like how do you function? Like move on with that? Like you know what I mean?
Kind of like I
find myself in those positions a lot at points in the day, not all day, but points in the day where I find myself like that. But it sucks because it's like
I do feel that. And for me,
go ahead.
I do feel that, and for me, like I kind of just have to shut myself off. Like there are points where you kind of just have to turn off your own consciousness, to be honest, and just kind of go into robot mode.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that. That's why I get really angry more recently, just because I feel like it's seasonal anger, but I just feel like it's a lot around this time of the year.
True.
So it is what it is. Just gotta move on, deal with it, progress.
Yeah.
Progress.
There's only one way to go, but fucking forward.
Yeah, I'm hip.
Crazy, but it's facts.
I was gonna say, I wish we could restart the clock, but honestly, time is man-made.
Yeah.
I mean, is it? Because if you think about it, if something dies, what is that? Like, wouldn't you call that time? Like the time between? Wouldn't that be time? Because I've heard people say like time is man-made, but is it? Because it's like, what would it be then? Like the time, like the thing between something and something happening, just nothing. Like you shit. Well, something. So like, say how we have like it's in our DNA that we degenerate, we age, right?
Yeah.
So at that point, if time wasn't a thing, like we say we never came up with time and never made it, would it just be? Say when we got older that like it was just a process, and then we got to death, it would just be like another part of the process.
I feel like time as it originated, time as an actual thing is a linear process.
So like started
at one point and it just goes on forever.
Okay.
It doesn't loop. Time started at one point. Whenever the Big Bang happened, whenever the universe was made, whenever God made the universe, whatever you believe.
So that's time.
Time started whenever anything was first made. The first thing was first made. Time started then, and it continued forward forever. And then man-made time, at least the ways people say like time is man-made, is more of a loop. It's still kind of linear because we have years, but for the most part, it's a loop, right?
Yeah.
We have 24 hours in a day, and then it starts back.
That's just based on our axis and where we are to the sun and all that stuff.
Well, yeah, but still, we made that, like, the numbers compared to like where we are, like facing the sun and all that bullshit. We made that, you know,
Sure did. And as well.
like months. Like we made months,
And
12 months.
And it's crazy because, like, I don't know. The reason I've been thinking about this more and more of, like, kind of like space and stuff like that is I don't know if you've been seeing it pop up more on, like, Snapchat feeds or Instagram to post or anything. Like, apparently in sometime this year, and it was passed in the recent, like, Progression Helpful Act that gave us the $600 stimulus check. Apparently there was an article, like, there was a section in it that apparently states that we're gonna. I didn't look it up to verify it. I really should have. But there's a section in it that states they're supposed to release at a certain date sometime this year a bunch of information they withhold about aliens and pretty much
180 days.
pretty much admitting that aliens are real and that they
said
been in
180
constant-
days. I remember that.
And then I don't know if you've been seeing the whole thing about the former NASA scientist.
What?
He was saying that, like, once they do that, they're gonna pretty much say, like, we've been in like there's a galactic federation government, like not a government, but there's a national galactic federation. That's what it's called. That they've been in contact with aliens and, like, we thought all this and that they haven't told anybody because it would cause a panic. But at this point in time, that they're pretty much saying is that we've been through much shit, that this is the pretty much time for them to do it, because we're just gonna be like, oh, okay. What
We're
else?
just numb to it.
Yeah. And that's pretty much the way I'm reading it as, and I guess some of the people I've read on, like, and talked about it. Kind of crazy. I just don't know if I would believe it, because it's like, you know, these old people are crazy, and not even just that. It's this.
Well, even then, here's one thing.
Well, every end of the decade, every kind of something that gets that hype behind it, like 2010. You know, end of a decade. I mean, actually, 2010 wasn't crazy. It was the blizzard that was crazy at least for over on the East Coast. It was crazy. 2012 was supposed to be the year that the world was gonna end.
Mm-hmm.
And then for me, this kind of has that same kind of, like, hype to it in a sense. Not like the whole world's gonna end, but to, like, yo, shit's gonna go down.
Yeah, I look, you feel like that too. Not hearing that. Like, here's my thing though, right? What else about to say? You know how how people say, at least, like, the government keeps secrets from us and they're not going to tell us the truth and all this and this bullshit, right? Looking at it, why would they tell us the truth even now? Why wouldn't they just say they're going to and just lie about it even more? Right? And just say we got in contact with aliens, say we know all this bullshit.
But my thing is, like, even if they admit it, dude, what shit? Like, 'cause, like, my thing is, though, I don't think they are gonna admit it. For the fact being, if they admit it, all those people that have ever been locked up for, like, believing in that shit, they've been, like, how's that gonna work? Like, cause what if it's actually something? What if something, like, actually was real? Like, they saw or something happened to them and they were, like, talked about it, but they just locked them up.
That shit already happens now. Like, the government just tells them, "Oh, I'm sorry. Here's like $5," and then sends them on their way. That shit happens with, like, people that smoke pot and got locked up and then it got legalized.
That's true. There's actually, I think I saw something recently that there was a guy that was been locked up for like 20 plus years for that shit, and he just recently got out. Because
there are people that got convicted for like 20 plus years over something that they didn't do, and then evidence came out later that they didn't do it, and then all that happened was they were like, "Oh, we're sorry."
There's just something on this scale. I mean, I guess you could look at the same with weed, like, you know, the whole legalize, like, when they legalize in a state, how does that work with their prisons and jails and shit like that? Just slowly they work it out and they get people out that need to be out. That's wild. I'm happy. We, like, me and you and Ben, like, us three, like, never got into it. Like, yeah, I think I've known Omar and Christian a little bit longer than you guys, but fuck, could not imagine being in some of the situations they've told me about. Omar being in fucking jail, and then Christian is doing some of the drugs and people he's been around. That's the wild crowd that I always avoided.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, I've just never been down with that shit. That shit just
bad feeling.
Dude, I couldn't even imagine that, like, the drugs that Chris does. Like, I couldn't even imagine what he wakes up feeling like.
Yeah, I mean, now, like, I feel like that probably pays into his insomnia and the way he is. I mean, you guys haven't met Christian yet. I mean, to the viewers on YouTube, I Probably have him on at some point. I haven't seen him in a while. It'd be nice to catch up with the fool. Hopefully he sees this. Shout out to that man Burnsy Burns.
Motherfucking Burns.
Burnsy Burns. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. Those two being in jail and like that is probably a wild experience and like definitely
dude,
life changing.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's, I see it from family being locked up and from friends being locked up and people hearing about being locked up. Anytime you're in anywhere near that kind of situation that involves that in any situation, I always have that bad feeling I've always stayed away from.
Yeah.
Looking at Omar, I mean, that man changed his life. I wouldn't mind I'd be weird having him on here because like he's not that kind of talk show kind of guy, but I mean, it'd be kind of cool. Kind of cool. It's not really a talk show. We just
get him on there.
We just gotta get him on. We gotta teach this man how to use his phone and get a camera working. Or I just have or either that
Xbox motherfucker.
or I just have him over. I can just have him come over.
Yeah, true.
Could you grab the nuggets? Could you grab the nuggets? Could you? Is there any more chicken in the fridge? You want me up some?
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
What was I talking about? Sorry, mind blank.
Omar Christian, jail.
Oh yeah,
drugs.
Omar. He's in jail, drugs. Yeah, but now this man went to jail, came out. Now he's clean and he's gonna be a dad.
Yeah, he's doing his thing, man. I'm very proud of him. Very fucking proud of him.
Doing his thing. That's facts. That's what we all gotta do. Do her thing. I just imagine if this man didn't get locked up, what he would be doing right now.
I really wonder. You think he'd still be doing the shit he used to do?
Oh yeah, for sure. 100%. Like, I mean, maybe a little less, depending on if he he did meet this girl and like he was with her at all.
Yeah.
That's even if.
Mhm.
But, you know, guaranteed. Maybe even a little bit harder than he was.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was getting pretty heavy. I'm kind of happy he stopped when he stopped.
Mhm.
But almost 6 o'clock. Okay. Not too bad. Not too bad.
Oh, that's good.
Not gonna be on air too much longer, probably. Hopefully we can do this soon. Let me see what else I have up on here. I mean, probably just so we're not prolonging this longer than it should be. We'll just end this off with one more little thing for us to talk about. Anything coming up next? Anything thinking about trying out?
It's up to you.
Anything trying about getting, buying, pursuing?
Talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, say that again. Say that again. Sorry.
So is there anything like coming up next for you? Like anything, a family event? Like you buy anything new? You try anything new?
Family event? Not that I know of. I know that my cousin is about to have a child soon. Like, so
Nice.
I don't know.
Nice.
That's probably
Talk to them,
sometime.
like see them often, or
Not really. I don't really see my family often anymore. It's pretty crazy, but especially because of Corona. But even then, like they kind of like when I was younger and they were younger, like before they turned into actual adults, you know, I saw them a little bit more. But now they're fucking adults, so they have to work all the time. They have to do all that bullshit. So it's kind of rare, but I still see them time to time. It's nice catching up.
if I gotta find a better job with better hours for this.
No cap.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, grass.
I'm gonna wake. I'm probably gonna slump and then immediately wake up and go to work today.
I'm lucky.
It's the way it is. I don't know if we talked about it on stream or not, but you said you were getting a new SS. Well, wait, not SSD. You got a new SSD. What SSD did?
No, I have an SSD that's still technically new, but I bought it like fuck long ago. Like you remember when I bought this thing, like a year ago at least. Yeah, so I got that SSD like a year ago, but I haven't touched it. It's brand fucking new, no storage on it, absolutely nothing. Doesn't even have Windows on it. And I need to get that into my new PC because it's an M.2. It just runs faster. It'll download and write all my shit a lot quicker. It'll just make it more optimal, right? But the problem I ran into is all the stuff that I have on my current SSD, I can't move that over to my new SSD. In order to like the only way I would be able to move that stuff over, I literally wouldn't be able to. So the problem is I would have to, since the new SSD is completely new, I have to put Windows on there. So in order to do that,
You can't
I
copy
believe-
and paste the Windows from your old SSD?
I can, but then the problem lies is that Windows is on this new SSD and then Windows is on the old SSD. So with Windows on the old SSD, all of my games are on there. I'm trying to think exactly what Tony told me. It's like this problem that my games are on the Windows there, and if I try to transfer them over to the new SSD, they can't transfer over because it's like a different Windows. It's like a newer Windows or something. I can't remember. But basically, if I want to transfer all my shit over, I can't transfer all my shit over either way. I have to completely erase my SSD because
That's
don't know.
whack. So like, what are you erasing when you do that? If you were to just
Everything basically. Like literally everything. I'm talking about the SSD I'm using right now. It would have everything taken off of it, even Windows. It would be completely factory reset. So all my games.
So like, say you reset it and you like just got a fresh one, add it, put the new Windows on it, and couldn't you just reinstall everything you had, or no?
Yeah, but then I would
Well,
depending on like what I care about.
What are the main things you're losing that you can't get back?
The games I can get back. It's just files.
So there's no way to get it just USB, plug it in, copy and paste, and then
I would okay. So what I could do is I would have to get like a USB, like a flash drive, and just copy all of my files onto the flash drive and then put them on the SSD.
That should work. That should work.
Let me try to think. Is there anything else? I think I just need the files, right? Well, the other cuck thing about it is the settings, right? Because this SSD has all the settings that I fucked with, like personalization of my desktop. It has all of my passwords for like fucking YouTube, Twitch, all that bullshit. And it's got all the settings, like preset. Like if I go into Streamlabs, it already has like everything, like all my scenes, all the overlays, all that type of bullshit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I go to the new SSD, all that shit's gone. So I have to restart everything. So Streamlabs, I have to do all that small technical shit, get the fucking overlays in there, put all that shit in there. YouTube, I would have to log into all of my socials again.
Facts.
Just shit like that. It's just more annoying shit, if anything.
I mean, the files I get, everything else I've just been like, fuck it, because like you can just log in or re-download whatever. I mean,
yeah,
it's not like
it's
you
just
can't.
more or less annoying, man. Like having to re-download Sea of Thieves, Rocket League.
Sea of Thieves is honestly a lot bigger than I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be a smaller game. That
I
thing
did
was
not.
like 60
I did not
gigs. That
expect
was like
60 gigs.
Jesus. I'm like, okay then.
I'm hip.
Great game. Wish I was
Definitely fun.
Yeah, time consuming. Wish I had more free time than I did. I definitely gotta be looking out for more jobs. Need something a bit better than this.
It seems more like the hours, more or less, for me that just seems so cocked, man.
It really is.
10 to fucking, what is it, 2 to 10? 2 to 10, and then you got like a 12 to 6 or something, a 10 to 6.
It really is. What month is it? It's January? Okay, so for me, end of the month is my earliest birthday. Probably have a get together some point around that time. 25th.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, not sure if you're gonna be doing anything, but
probably not.
Keep a day out for that. And then see anything new I'm looking to get FL Studios here shortly. Hopefully. Webcam upgrade. I want to get a Brio. I think it's Logitech. I think it's Logitech Brio. It's a 4K webcam. It's pretty much gonna look like yours, but it's gonna be like a webcam, not a DSLR camera.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Anything else? Like I think I'm missing something. I was gonna say something, and I just blanked out again, like I normally do. It's late.
Sure.
Besides that, probably just like getting normal sit and check, just kind of make sure when I start eating right a little bit more like good shit, not just donuts from 7-Eleven.
And I definitely feel that, man.
Eating a little better than I have, and I mean I say that, but I'm sitting here eating KFC Popeyes. I'm probably gonna pass my ass out and wake up and do an 8-hour shift and eat donuts and hot dogs.
Damn. I definitely do feel that. I need to start eating a lot healthier. I need to start eating vegetables in general, you know? I don't even remember the last time I've had a fucking vegetable.
That's sad. Yeah.
Oh, well, actually, I've had corn.
That's
I've
it.
had corn and carrots.
And like, if I get the option, I'll take some corn, carrots, and broccoli. I'm always open for that.
Dude, I don't fucking broccoli like that. Like, I'll have it. You offer me some broccoli, I'll be like, sure, I'll take it.
Yeah, I'm
like, it's fucking broccoli, bro.
Better than nothing, better than what most people have, dude.
That's facts, yo.
Yeah.
That's facts.
But I think I'm gonna end it here. Been a good one. It's a little late. Just a little test drive, see how things worked out.
Yeah, we're just doing this one to see how things go. Give us some feedback. If you guys watch this, give us some feedback. Let us know what you'd like to see. Let us know.
Let me know
what
down
you'd
in
like
the
us to
comments.
fix.
I'm gonna try to put this out there on most of my socials. If anything, I might edit this up a little bit, make this a little better, make a little highlight video as well. Gotta add a thumbnail, make everything look nice and neat. This is just a test one. Hopefully we can come back. But hope next week at least to do another one. To have one up and ready for you guys by next week. Have a third person in this mix and just us two. This was a lot of work. This was a lot of work. A couple weeks talked about 2 hours, just the last minute, just trying to make sure everything works. We're not really sure how this is gonna work out, but hopefully we can do this again. And I enjoy your time. I've known this fool for years, and probably gonna do another one. Stay tuned, and yeah, go ahead, Mr. G.M.S, hit them with your socials and where they can find you.
You want to catch me? You can catch me on Instagram.com / what the fuck is my Instagram? I don't even know. Instagram.com / grandmaster.sensei. I repeat, Instagram.com grandmaster.
I know you're a streamer. What's your Twitch?
Twitch.tv / twistedxvapor. I repeat, twitch.tv / twistedxvapor.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to get some of the highest octane gameplay on Twitch platform,
thank you so much.
In that oversaturated genre of a platform, but appreciate you having you on here tonight. I'll let you go get some sleep as well. Hopefully see you here again.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. It's been a good one. Nice little hour and a half, almost 2 hour session. We're gonna end this out. What song should we play from our album, boy?
Make it like numbers, 1 through something.
1 through 8.
1 through 8. Give me a 4.
Faded. One boy Faded featuring G.M.S, Abandoned Child, and yours truly. Thank you. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Anybody that has tuned in after the stream is live, hope to see you soon. Boy Edge, G.M.S. Talk to you guys later.
I'm seeing playing my
G.M.S, I'm that guy, high as fuck, way up in the sky. Stack 10 racks and blue, stack on pack. I'm so smack, way up in the clouds. I'm feeling proud, cause my gas is so loud. This blunt, I pass around to my homies, resting in the ground. Yeah, I'm high on life, I'm feeling right, I won't come down. Yeah, I'm high on life, I'm feeling right, I got the crown. I'm a brick, I sell it quick, I'm about my bread, I'm about my shit. Get that cash in bed, I did what my homies passing around the street. I'm fucked up, I'm faded, yeah. So fuck it, I'ma get wasted, yeah. I'm right around with your main bitch, 100 racks, no basement. Yo, fuck niggas be hating, yo, young nigga, I made it. I'm fucked up, I'm faded, yeah. So fuck it, I'ma get wasted,
basement. Fuck niggas be hating. Yo, young nigga
Every day I'm high, way up in the fucking sky. Never knowing when I'm gonna die. Please God, tell me why I'm so good at this life. Too happy with the sights, prepared for the sight. Tripping on the hype, cause you know it's going down tonight. Fuck a lie, screw a cry, chew a tie. Fuck a bitch's high and a goodbye. Look, I'm fine. Yeah, your boy slim up on the rhymes. Always chilling with the times. Maybe buy a couple times. Sitting between the lines. God just gave me fucking signs. Just sit back and watch it shine. Listen to your mind. See what's inside. Leave that shit behind. I'm shining, bitch. Leave you blind. Run it back. Now rewind. Fucker.
I'm fucked up, I'm faded, yeah. So fuck it, I'ma get wasted, yeah. I'm right around with your main bitch. Your hard racks, no basement. Yo, fuck niggas be hating. Yo, young nigga, I made it. I'm fucked up, I'm faded,